What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as I mentioned before, the channel started out by talking about Kratom, and I still get quite a lot of views and comments on those videos in particular. In other words, the YouTube algorithm is still pushing my Kratom content to people, based on what people are searching for. So I still get comments all the time, and I got another one that somebody asked me to talk about urine retention, because I dealt with this, especially towards the end of my Kratom use, especially with using just the straight raw Kratom powder. I dealt with this quite a lot, and for me it extended beyond just retention. Retention is one thing, and this is going to be a layman's explanation of all of this, okay? So I just want to say that right out of the gate. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is stuff that I've learned in the School of Hard Knocks, from having about a 5.5, maybe close to 6-year experience with taking Kratom, different types of Kratom. I've taken the powder, the extracts, all the rest of it. But I had a person ask, they said, I am going day and night, meaning they're urinating day and night, okay? So the first thing I'll say is Kratom is a diuretic, okay? Very well known that Kratom is a diuretic. Not to mention, a lot of people who use Kratom, including myself when I was using it, would drink it in something like orange juice, and then afterwards I would usually drink some coffee or something with caffeine in it, to kind of, not exacerbate, but potentiate. That's the word. Potentiate the effects of it. Kind of gives you a more intense sort of euphoria and buzz, if you will. So those things are diuretic as well. Kratom is a diuretic, and your body works to excrete that, okay? It works very hard to excrete that. Hence the reason you're going to the bathroom every hour on the hour or more having to piss, right? Because Kratom is a natural diuretic. Well, so is coffee. People tend to drink coffee with it to potentiate the effects. So is orange juice, vitamin C, same sort of thing. All of those things are going to cause you to urinate more frequently, okay? Now, what this person specifically asked me about was retention, okay? And retention can mean a couple of things. Retention can mean that you're unable to fully empty your bladder. Retention for me was more so I could empty my bladder eventually, but it was at a point, especially when I was taking very large amounts of it, where it was absolutely 1000% normal for me to go to the toilet and stand there for a good minute and a half before I could start my stream of urine. For people who have never done Kratom or never done some sort of opiate, this is just like, what? And I remember, my wife, she's not, a big opiate person. I mean, she'll drink a little bit from time to time, but she's never been a person that's done opiates or done them to the degree where she's been addicted to them. Good on her, right? It makes one of us. Better to have only one opiate addict in the house, for sure. But either way, I remember she used to say to me, like, she would sometimes come to the bathroom with, "You okay?" Like, "No, I'm good. I'm still trying to piss." And my wife and I had a very open relationship, so she knew everything that I did. She knew that I was taking Kratom. She knew all the rest of it. But I remember multiple times having to remind her, like, remember? Like, it just became customary. Like, when I go to the bathroom to piss, I'm going to be in there a minute, because it takes me a couple of minutes to get started. So with me, I was usually able to fully empty my bladder, at least for the most part. but the retention came in the form of I had a really hard time getting the stream started, okay? And I've heard other people say this as well. And it has something to do with how kratom and other opiates interacts with your muscles down there. I don't know if it's like your Kegel muscles or something else. I'm sure I'm, really botching the actual technical medical explanation for why this happens, but it does. And if you've ever taken kratom or been addicted to kratom or some other opiate, you're sitting there nodding your head with me right now, like, oh hell yeah, I'd be in the bathroom for 3 minutes just taking a piss, Anyway, so the retention is one thing that is pretty normal, and this person said that it was from taking the shots. Now, kratom is kratom, 7-hydroxy is 7-hydroxy. All those things act on the opiate receptors. From what I understand, anything that acts on the opiate receptors is going to affect that function of your body. The retaining urine, not being able to fully empty your bladder, and also causing you to urinate more frequently. What I didn't know for sure if what they were talking about, because they responded to a video where I was talking about not only the frequent urination, but I got to a point towards the end of my kratom use where I had this very, very unsettling symptom. And by unsettling, I mean to the point where, as a grown-ass man, I just broke down and cried a couple of times. Like a little baby, like a little boy. I had my wife sitting there rubbing my back. Oh, you're going to get through this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's how upset I was. And I don't, I'm like alpha male type. I don't cry very easily, right? I mean, I'm a sensitive guy in touch with my emotions, I would say, but I'm not a guy that just cries at the drop of a hat. So, what it was is I got to a point where I started having this overwhelming urge to urinate. So I was feeling, well, you know how when you have to pee really bad, right? You're taking a trip, you've been drinking quite a lot. You're like, 20 miles until the next rest stop, okay? And then you're, discussing with your partner or your wife or your girlfriend, can you make it? Yeah, I think I can hold it, And then after about 10, 15 miles, you're like, geez, God, hurry up, get there, yada, 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 blah, 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 right? So I would have that sort of feeling, but then I would go to the bathroom and literally no pee would come out. I would have like a drop, 2 drops come out. And this went on with me for about probably close to a month. This was happening. And it was affecting my sleep in a very, very negative way. And it was causing me, there were times where I had to get, I was getting out of bed 7-8 times a night to go in there. And when it's in the middle of the night and you're half asleep and you're tired, I was sitting on the toilet like a female, just half out of it, So there was 5-6 times a night at times where I was getting up, going in there, sitting on the toilet, just hoping that I actually had to piss this time. And this happened to me for probably a good month. I went to the doctor about it multiple times. They thought that maybe, without doing some sort of scan or whatever, they did, of course, all the urinalysis and all that stuff, came back normal. No urinary tract infection, nothing like that. Finally, after my second doctor visit, they thought, well, you're late 40s guy. Usually we don't see like the whole swollen prostate thing with guys your age. Usually it's men a little older, but we can test it, So then, of course, I had to go to the doctor and, live every man's dream is to have some random doctor with a cold, wet glove on shove his finger up your bungus. 2 fingers up your bungus. Don't ask me how I knew that, but I just knew it was 2 fingers. Anyway, well, this is really going off the rails. All right, so, and he immediately was like, you're good, don't feel anything wrong, no cancer. And that's exactly what he said to me. And my first thought was, how do you know that? I'm sticking 2 fingers up my asshole and touching my prostate. How do you know that I don't have cancer? But I had already had the urinalysis and all that stuff test your what's called PSA levels. It tests your levels, your prostate. So all my PSA levels and stuff were normal as well. They also did a scan of my bladder in that same visit, and it showed that yes, I was fully emptying my bladder, because they had, they have you urinate right before you go into the office so that they can do the scan to make sure that you fully emptied your bladder. So I was fully emptying my bladder, still taking Kratom all this time. I was emptying my bladder. So they saw that. PSA levels for my prostate were normal. No sort of prostate problems, no sort of cancer or anything like that. And I was still having this problem of not only frequent urination, but the feeling as though I had to urinate and then go into the bathroom and nothing happening. And don't get me wrong, I was drinking a lot of fluids and stuff like that throughout the day. So it didn't really bother me that bad throughout the day, because I was up, moving around, doing stuff, and I really was pissing throughout the day. So I didn't have any problem pissing and going to the bathroom and emptying my bladder. But at nighttime, I got to the point where I would not drink a drop of anything past 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to get up and excessively urinate throughout the night. Okay? And still, even with that, I was having this urge, feeling like I had to piss, and then I would go in there and I didn't have to. So, when did this stop for me? And that's one of the questions that the person asked me. They said, could you please talk more about the retention, because I've been going day and night and it's driving me crazy. It's really starting to worry me, that sort of thing. So this started to go away for me. At the time that this happened, I was probably taking 35, maybe even 40 grams of kratom powder per day. So I had worked my way up there pretty high. Okay? Over a 2 or 3 week period, I tapered down and had worked my way down to under about 20 grams or so. Okay, by the time I got to under about maybe 15 or so-ish grams of kratom per day, this issue with my bladder and feeling like I had to urinate but then not urinating, it started to subside. Little by little, every day it started to go away, until eventually it just went away. And now, since I've been off of the kratom since October, I've not had any reoccurrence of anything like that. And I still go, I still urinate relatively often, because I drink coffee probably more than I should, several times throughout the day, and I also drink a fair amount of water. So I'm a high liquids sort of person. I drink quite a few liquids, and usually the stuff I drink is, diuretic type stuff to just run right through you. I'm not a soda drinker. I mean, coffee, water, a Powerade here and there, stuff like that's gonna make you piss anyway. So that's what I got. I'm not gonna keep rambling on about it. I hope this helps you. I don't remember the gentleman's name that left the comment, but I just want to get back on here every once in a while and try to answer a few of these questions for people, maybe help put people's mind at ease a little bit, since I've been through it. But that's what I know about urine retention, and that was kind of my experience and experiences surrounding it. And I do feel pretty confident now that was a direct result of the kratom powder, using the kratom powder in large amounts the way I was, plus drinking all the liquids with it. I think my body just got into this like habit of just urinate all the time, you know, that sort of thing. And it was a very concerning symptom, a very frustrating symptom. And thank God I'm past that. But you, my friend, you will get past it. Kratom definitely can cause these sort of symptoms in people. So I don't want you to, you know, don't do like I did and, you know, Google everything that could be wrong with you and start thinking that you've got some major issue or anything. Don't do that. You know, just, you know, be patient with yourself. I know the gentleman said that he was on his first day of cold turkey, so he's stopped using the Kratom shots. I don't know if that means he's given up Kratom altogether. Maybe you, my friend, if you see this video, can answer that. Either way, good move to come off of it. That symptom should subside and should go away once your body kind of, you know, gets itself back to homeostasis and back to what's considered normality for it, without using the Kratom. So anyway, hope this helps somebody out there. I gotta go. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you've not, hit that subscribe button on the channel. Leave a comment. Let us know what your experiences have been with urine retention or urinary frequency, all that stuff. Because when you leave comments like that, you know, the people that are watching these videos are other people that either currently take or have taken Kratom as well. And a lot of these people that are on these videos are looking to stop taking it, and it helps people. So when you comment and tell your own experiences about this stuff, just know that that helps someone else. Just like me getting on here, sharing my experience helps other people, right? So let me know what your experience has been with this. I'll see you guys on the next one.